What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Neosynthesis, coming at you a little bit depressed after the ban list, to be honest, but we won't stick around on that too much. As you guys know, I am on the Spright deck, so here's my attempt to basically cope until I can get the Runick cards as to what I think a decent build of, like, basically the board building Spright that we are used to looks like. So for the Spright stuff, it's like obviously probably still pretty obvious that you just want to max out on like the good like, you know, broken Spright cards, right? The 9 just blue jet starter. These are pretty standard. They're like your, you know, they're starters. And then we're still on red carrots smashers. I think, you know, there's an argument that this format 2 smashes is good because there's just going to be a lot of floodgating going around. But, you know, drawing too many smashers can brick you for sure. Drawing 1 smasher is almost never bad because you can just always search like a starter. Yeah, this is my current ratios. I might also put a Pixies in here just because you're a little light on level 2s in this deck. But we play a lot of stuff to kind of compensate for that. We are on the adventure line as well, so just the 3 water, 1 foolish, triple right. I still think that it's decent when you can, like, I mean, obviously I think the adventure line is pretty good. And you're less dependent on your swap frog send. I'll kind of show you guys the combo, how you can still end on the elf board. It's a lot more vulnerable to interrupts. Your hand needs to be a little bit better. But you can end on you can basically end on like Griffin Rider plus the old board with the toad, with the elf pointing to the toad and the Griffin Rider. So it's pretty good. Those are obviously the adventure cards that you want to draw. You don't care about drawing Griffin Rider. Drawing Dragoback and drawing Fateful Adventure kind of suck. But yeah, obviously these cards are necessary to run for your adventure line. I'm not playing Beavers and Angler. I probably would play 2 Beaver, 1 Angler if I had them. I simply just don't. And then for like the level 2 kind of extenders, I play 1 Reborn. This card's like really good at like helping you push through hand traps, and yeah, I like Monster Reborn. It can help you make like Totally Awesome easier. It can revive Totally Awesome as well. Play 3 E-Tully. We play Gamma in this deck, but this is just like represents another level 2 we can throw on board. And then we play triple swap frog still. That's it for the frogs. We just play triple swap. You could maybe even cut it down to double swap and put in like the like draw 1 level 2, or like, I mean, you don't really, maybe another red or a Pixies or something would be better. But you don't really need swap frog's effect like to resolve when you normal summon it, because you're most of the time, I mean, yeah, you want it to resolve obviously, because you go swap frog, send swap frog, and then you can just revive this swap frog with a elf, and then you can still overlay for your totally if you draw a swap frog, which is why you want to max out on them, because it's still good to draw. You can still pitch Water Enchantress with it, but there's just not a huge payoff for sending the cards to the graveyard anymore, which is a bit sad. That's it for like the engine, like the go cards. For like the going second cards, we just played 3 Super Poly. I still think, you know, going into Garura is super, super nice versus like pretty much any rogue deck. Bad tier players will play into this card. And yeah, this card will like destroy any sprites that's like that are like left. And then we go triple Imperm, triple Gamma and Driver. Imperm I think is like the best hand trap this format. That or maybe either DD. I mean, DD Crow's okay. I don't think DD Crow is as good as Imperm or Nib. Maybe I would trade the Super Polys for Nibiru's because they're slightly better. And then perhaps in the future, I would just cut out this Gamma E-Tele package in general and switch to the Beavers and the Anglers and put Nibiru in here. But I'm not 100% sure. Like, the format's still really wide open, which is why kind of the deck is a bit amorphous. Like, it's not... Nothing's like super, super determinate right now. So that's the deck, 40 cards in the main. In terms of the extra, I think going 3 Elf, 2 Gigantic is still like right. Yeah, there's no reason to cut any of these cards. Maybe a 3rd Gigantic, I just don't even know though at this point. Play 1 Jin. A lot of the time your hands are going to be a lot more awkward now that Ronin Titan's banned, and you need to end on 2 Darks instead of 2 frogs to make totally awesome, but Gym Buster's like all right, and less people are on Dark Roll this format, so this card is a little bit better than it was. You still play the one Toad, in my opinion. I think it's worth trying to just make it and cope, because you can basically make it by summoning one Toad or one Swap Frog off this and one Swap Frog off this, and you just need like another extender. And then, yeah, you can own like your typical board or whatever. We play one IP and one Nightmare. Like I said, you're a lot more awkward, so sometimes when you want to end on this, you literally can't. And you just have to settle for IP Masquerena into Unicorn, which is better than no disruptions, but it's certainly not, ideal. And then in terms of like going second, stuff in the extra deck, Dark, Onib, Skycav, Downard, Zeus, and then the obvious Super Poly Target and Garuro. We only play one. I don't think it's worth playing Dragostapella or anything else this time. Pit Knight was considered, but Pit Knight's a lot worse because Swap Frog is kind of like pretty hard nerfed. The whole Frog engine is not really the greatest thing in the world anymore. And then cards like Nightmare Phoenix, just I feel like don't get enough utility. Just like you can't really out rivalry with them. And yeah, stuff like that. I mean, the only thing I would consider is maybe another Super Poly Target, but I just don't think that it's worth it. Like, Super Poly's kind of got a surprise value in this deck, which is why you can get away with just playing Garura. But that's it for the extra. In terms of the side, like, this is probably the most amorphous part of the whole deck list in general. But we just play one, a pointer. Basically, this is just like Dust Shoot. It's kind of good. Limited for a reason. 3 Nib. Like I said, this card could go in the main deck. 3 D-Berry. This card could also go into the main deck because you pretty much just win versus tier when you draw it, which is super cool. And then for like back row hate stuff, we play 1 Pank. This should be a Duster, but it's a Twin Twisters. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Yeah, I mean, just be prepared. Mine is like real now. And this is another card we play for the mine pretty much, but you end up siding this card and this card in when you have like cards that aren't good in your deck versus like specific stuff. So like if you don't have good Super Poly targets, you can always like guaranteed at least side into decent cards. And then 1 Red Resonator because the time rules in Yu-Gi-Oh are quite bad. Anyway, guys, that is my take on the adventure kind of combo like gas Spright. I think that the best build right now is actually going to be the Runick Mine Spright, but I don't think that the adventure line in the deck is like dead. Obviously, the adventure card survived the ban list, so that gives me some ability to cope on this deck still. We'll see how this format continues. I am going to be trying to pick up the Runick cards. That's what I would recommend anybody in my situation to also be doing. But hey, at least adventure didn't get hit, and that investment didn't get shot. But I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been your boy Neosynthesis. Hopefully we can cope on Spright together. See you guys later.